I just cannot believe all the gayness that's going on with, especially among black dudes in the entertainment industry. I would have, I mean, I would have never guessed. Like the way I grew up. I mean, the way I grew up, the men that I grew up around, like nobody really got down like this. Now, I mean, I have a cousin that's gay, and we all knew he was gay. You know, he played piano for the church and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
like,
That's the thing.
right, you know what I'm saying? Like
He's
stereotype, but you
clearly
know,
gay.
right, right. But we didn't have a problem with it or anything. Like no, like we understood that it was there.
Right. It wasn't something that he marched in a parade over, though. Right.
Well,
Like he
not
didn't.
just that, but it was not something that was acceptable to engage in if you were a masculine man.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
just the zeitgeist that's how I grew up. That's how things were with the
Mhm.
guys that I grew up around.
It was totally
So the
different with me, by the way.
amount of, huh?
It was totally different with me, by the way. But
What?
I just my parents were way more open with that stuff, and like I would go to pride parades and stuff, San Francisco, like all that stuff. But growing up, like none of the guys that I knew growing up, like get how you're saying, like I assume you're talking about mostly like black dudes. Yeah, mostly black dudes. Never. It was never a
That was
thing.
not even on our
Like we
radar.
had one dude that was Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity. We knew he would grow up and be gay, and then that was that. But he was the homeboy to everyone. It wasn't like a big thing. It wasn't a small thing. It just was a thing, you know?
Well, there's so much gayness among black men in the entertainment industry that I can't like I can't even wrap my mind around it.
What do
And
you
what made me
feel like
think
it is?
about it, and what made me think about it first was look at you trying to get off the
No, I'm just
subject.
wondering, like, is it a trend?
And what made me think about it first was the fact that Tyler Perry is now getting sued for
I
sexual
know.
harassment.
I
Are you
read
aware
that
of
this morning.
this?
I read that this morning, but I don't know all the details. I
All
was looking
right.
at the comments mostly.
Okay. See,
Because people,
so you have some of that sort of fascination about it the same way that I do, right?
yeah, and I would like to see what people are thinking because it was all about believe her, and then I'm like, do we believe him too? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, well, and there also is this Diddy trial thing that's going on. There's no court today, so
Sure, out
there's
sick with
nothing going on today. But yeah, somebody's out sick with vertigo. But there's actually some
vertigo, just being dizzy, just
yeah. So
uh,
this right here, I wanted to show you. Maureen Comey is James Comey's daughter. You know who James Comey is, right?
yeah,
Okay, so, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Director Comey,
Yeah.
how are you?
Good, thank you.
Jesse Waters from Fox has a question.
Yeah.
Why are you on an 86 Trump?
All right.
Director?
I'm not taking questions like that now.
But why would you
Just signing
why,
the book.
why would you post that?
The FBI is bigger than any leader it's ever had or ever will have. And James Comey is a private citizen, and he can walk around the beach and talk about seashells and Crayola crayons for all I care about, and talk about how we're the conspiracy theorists. But I just remind the American people of one thing. When that man was the leader of the FBI, he perpetrated the largest criminal conspiracy, packaged political information from overseas, took it to a federal FISA court, and illegally surveilled a political opponent. So I won't be lectured on how to run this FBI from that man.
So she is the one that's the prosecutor in the Diddy trial. Did you know this?
That's a trip. I did know that, but that's just a
You
trip.
guys wanted
What
celebrity
you,
names named in the Diddy trial? Well, guess what? You're not getting them. You know why? Because the government is protecting the names of the celebrities right now. Oh, it gets really crazy today, you guys. So today, we find out that there was a freak-off party in Vegas where a guy named Anton, an escort that gets apparently allegedly passed around celebrity circles, was banging somebody, possibly a celebrity's wife, in January in Vegas. And there was 7 to 8 people just sitting around the hotel room watching, some that were celebrities. The defense attorney argued, we need to have these names public, otherwise this is not a fair trial. And Maureen Comey, the government, was like, no, we have to protect these names. Why? Oh, it's because it's the same thing she did during Ghislaine Maxwell. That's why we never got any names. So people can speculate, but Right now, the judge decided to agree with Maureen Comey. We're not getting the names.
I wonder why. Like,
No, you don't. Stop playing.
no. I'm just
Stop
saying, what's the
playing.
official story? What's the official story? Like,
So this I thought was interesting. Also, this is my boss calls if a mob boss calls you evil, you know it's next level.
right.
It's America, he said.
I can't even imagine what the fuck this is. I don't even know why there's a trial. Listening to this shit is ridiculous. It's outrageous. This guy needs a fucking 38 right in his fucking forehead.
Yeah.
No trial. Blow his fucking brains out. This isn't a freak off. This is, they can call it whatever they want. This is pure evil and insanity. I don't know if any of the questions are, is he going to beat this trial? I don't know how he could beat this trial. I don't know how any woman in her right mind could sit on this trial as a juror. Listen to this one day after the other, after the other. I'm only listening to it for 10 minutes. I've followed it a little bit, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. I don't even want to listen to it.
That's kind of ill when the mob boss is like, yeah, we'd have just knocked this
Yeah.
motherfucker
But
out.
he also could have other reasons for
And
not
the
liking
mob
him.
boss is
So
like, yeah, we would have just took him out. That's just, it wouldn't even been a trial.
he could have other reasons for not liking him too, though. Like,
That's true.
you know,
That's true. But I just think it's interesting. That's all. That's all.
yeah, I don't even think
Uh,
that's him. Who is that? Who is
Ooh,
that? He looks
oh.
so different to
Okay,
me.
so the jury in the Diddy sex crimes trial was shown records of Diddy using American Express card to foot the bill for flights for Cassie and male escorts for freak-offs, ABC News reports. On
Oh,
Tuesday, June 16th, the prosecution presented financial statements showing Diddy funded a freak-off in 2009, where he flew Cassie and male escort Jules Theodore into New York using a credit card under his business, Bad Boy Entertainment Worldwide. Other records shown to the jury included various hotel charges allegedly related to the freak-offs, including one charge for $47,000 for penthouse damages in 2012. Diddy is accused of transporting prostitutes across state lines as part of a racketeering scheme. And, we're not in trial today.
but
And there's
wait,
one more.
was any of that illegal? That's what I'm confused about. Because do you know if it's illegal
Diddy is
for
accused of transporting prostitutes across state
right?
lines.
No, I get that, but I'm saying they
That's
were willing.
illegal. We're moving on.
They were willing though. I thought it was if they were unwilling. If that was like
I
if they
just
were if
read
they
you the
didn't
crime.
move.
If I just read you the crime,
No, I know. I
what,
didn't see.
what?
I didn't see.
I just
I
read
still
you
don't see the crime.
racketeering and transport. Okay. Anyway. All right. So last thing
I
is
guess
I
I'll look
wanted
it
to
up
show
myself.
you Dave Chappelle's take on this because I know how you love Dave Chappelle. I'm
Dave
trying to
Chappelle.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying
Who
to
you trying to help?
help you. All right. Moving along. So Dave Chappelle take on it.
If you get to be 55, then Puff is 55. He doesn't look old, but this nigga's paying half price at the movies. I say you're a playboy. Ain't nothing wrong getting older, but if you 55 and you got 1,000 bottles of baby oil in the house, clearly, can't stop, won't stop. You commit to the lifestyle. I'm 51, and I'm telling you, this is true. I can't remember a single time I ever threw an empty bottle of baby oil in the trash.
Right.
I don't think I've ever finished a bottle of baby oil in my life. If we went to my mother's house tonight, she probably got the same baby oil we had when I was little. And somehow, Puffy was all the way down to the last. And having baby oil is not illegal. They don't remind you about that part. That's the least harmful thing I read in that doc. He just used the wrong lube, I think. If he used it, he would have got away with it. But he just been like, oh, he likes to cook.
Oh, he likes to cook.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you or catch you up on the Diddy thing. Now, back to the gayness in Black Hollywood and the Tyler Perry situation.
Is gayness a word? I just need to know.
Yes.
It's an actual
Now it
word.
all makes sense why Tyler Perry pumps these movies out so fast, because you needed to cover a very expensive lawsuit. Now, People magazine is reporting that Tyler Perry is being sued for $260 million. Now, before we get into all of these text messages, let's talk about the facts of the case. Now, according to People magazine, he's being sued by somebody by the name of Derek Dixon, and this person is alleging that Tyler Perry had actually assaulted them and retaliation, among other complaints. Now, Dixon claimed that he had met Tyler Perry as far back as September of 2019, before he became the star of his show called Ruthless and another show called The Oval. Now, after the lawsuit had made public, Tyler Perry's attorney clapped back and said that this was a scam and that they were confident that these were fabricated claims of harassment. Yeah, that's what they all say until the text messages come out. Now, let's start from the top because we have a slew of text messages we got to get through, and I want to see if I can get them all in one video. Now, according to Dixon, this is a text thread conversation between him and Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry sends him a picture of him, looks like on a ski boat, and he says, "Nice picture. Yeah, the water does look calm." Perry replied back and says, "Nice picture, question mark?" Dixon replies and says, "Great, amazing, awesome picture." I guess that's being sarcastic. Tyler Perry replies back and said, "You don't see that stud in the nice picture?" And then Dixon replies back and says, "Yes, that's a stud." Now, in this next set of threads, Dixon had sent him a message and says, "I can call you later or tomorrow sometime." Tyler Perry replied back and says, "You have a really fresh voice and take on things." He said, "I don't know where this is going, but I laughed the entire time. I can see the world and the characters. My exclusivity ends in 30 days. What does that mean? Now, Tyler Perry goes on to say, "I want to take Losing It Out on Amazon or Netflix. After that, engage their interest. But I also want to try and get you to the right people and help you make these shows work." I guess the show that Dixon was on was called Losing It Out, and I guess Tyler Perry was attempting to pitch it to Netflix and Amazon. He goes on to say that these are not for my audience, but we need to find a home for this stuff. He says, "I don't want to miss another," and then it's blanked out, but I'm assuming he says opportunity. He then says, "You know that Eugene bought that to me first, but I didn't get it." Now,
Real quick, that obviously says shit creek, right? It doesn't say opportunity.
I can't, my eyes are bad, but I see,
Oh,
yeah.
let's back it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. What did she
Yeah,
say?
I don't want to miss
Opportunity. She said
another.
opportunity. I see it.
Yeah, she said opportunity. I don't think there's an
I
opportunity
mean,
creek.
she's not wrong, but you know.
Yeah.
Technically. Okay, whatever. She doesn't cuss.
he then says, "You know that Eugene bought that to me first, but I didn't get it." Now, Dixon replies back and says, "Wow, I was worried that you didn't even like it, but because it's a weird concept, and thank you." Now, I'm assuming in this thread, Dixon is attempting to show that Tyler Perry was using his name and prominence and relevance to get closer to him. Now, here's where Tyler Perry starts to get pretty explicit. Now, at the top of the thread, Dixon says, "Right, and we just had a heaping dose of it, and now it's back to nothing. It's really weird." Tyler Perry replies and says, "I didn't have any contact. What are you talking about? I haven't been touched in months." Dixon replies and says, "Oh, you mean touching? I thought you meant being around people." And then he replies and says, "Jacob," whatever that means. And Dixon replies and says, "I love that you only say that when I'm being stupid. I guess the Jacob dumbass version of me." Now, Tyler Perry replies below and says, "Not dumbass, but blonde, like you're having a blonde moment." I guess Tyler Perry was trying to get him to talk more actual because that's why he was just so confused about the touching part. And this is where the conversation just takes a weird, ominous twist. Now, Tyler Perry sends him a message that says, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that yet in therapy?" He goes on to say, "Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, a geometric." Derek Dixon replies back and says, "Giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist, question mark? That's so cool. Where you came from." And then Tyler Perry replies back and says, "Unfortunately, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that. It's so sad." He continues and says, "You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ." It's more of this, so trigger warning. Now, Tyler Perry starts off this thread and says, "I would hope you let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me. I hope you get past this block in your mind soon." Derek replies back and says, "Well, it's not this person, but yes, I want that too. I'm working on it. Therapy is helping." Based off of this entire conversation, it sounds like Derek is in some sort of therapy where he's like having these sort of like internal struggles, and Tyler Perry keeps trying to coach him into having like guiltless sex and then letting someone touch him. It's kind of strange. Now, in this portion of the thread, Tyler Perry is trying to convince Derek Dixon, of not telling the rest of the cast that they have an ongoing friendship, if you know what I mean. Tyler Perry says, listen to me. If you let the cast know that you and I have a new friendship, then you're opening yourself up to a lot of questions and foolishness. What you want them to know that you are there because of your talent and not because of our friendship or because Tony got you to give me the job. He goes on to say that you earned your spot like everyone else. Don't give people the opportunity to play you small or they will. Then he goes on to say, because when I go back to work, I'm not going to know you. I don't have any friends at work. Just professionalism is key. Derek replies back and says, yeah, you're totally right. Tyler Perry says, I hope you got it, my friend. He said, yeah, it makes total sense. And then Tyler Perry says, just watch the behavior of everyone around you and me on set. He said, I will. He said, don't want to give anyone an opportunity because work is work. Now, Tyler Perry continues and says, why did that photo make me jealous? You two together. Derek says, haha, I don't know. He says, just Brad, LOL. Tyler Perry replies back and says, LOL. And then Dixon goes on to say, he just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in. And now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself. And then Tyler Perry says, thick Derek. He said, get that Chipotle. Gross. Which makes me think that Tyler Perry was probably monitoring his social media because, like, why are you looking at photos of him and then texting him like, oh, why did that photo make me jealous? Nonetheless, he replies back and says, haha, you could tell from that photo. Basically, you could tell from that photo that I'm thick. Tyler says, no, I can't. Only from your jeans. Oh. Now, in this thread, two conversations are happening. First, they're talking about subscriptions and AdSense, and then Tyler Perry talks about getting horny. He starts off by saying, I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. Testosterone. Derek says, oh, yeah, from the doctor, but it's making you feel better. And then testosterone. Oh, and then Tyler Perry says, yeah, I feel so good, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the person that flirts with me. And then Derek replied back, LOL. Now, based off the text messages that we were able to read and capture, it sounded like Tyler was trying to groom him into flirting with him. Like, the guy sounded confused. He was in therapy. He was an actor. He was up and coming. He didn't know much about the industry. And it felt like Tyler Perry was trying to, like, put him under his wing, but for all the wrong reasons. Apparently, allegedly. But if there's any more updates about this story, I'm going to keep you guys posted. This is a lawsuit I think I want to follow.
I'm confused.
What are you confused about?
I'm confused. Why is he taking testosterone? And he looks
Well,
so
men
pretty
lose
in that
testosterone as they
picture.
get older.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not an
He
uncommon
looks so
thing.
pretty in that picture. He looks so Medea-like in that picture that you just had up that I was like, oh, maybe he was a girl. But hey, stop. Sorry.
Well, he did put on the dress. You know, that's how he got his claim to fame. So there's that.
I'm glitching. Okay.
Yeah, so there is that too.
Right.
But yeah, so the text messages were a little weird.
They're a little weird. I don't see.
I'm not ready to condemn him for the text messages just yet. You know, just doing a heat check. I mean, how is the guy supposed to get some if you don't, you know,
Right, exactly.
don't
The
put out
only
some
thing,
feelers.
the
You know what
thing that
I'm
would
saying?
be wrong about that is that they work together, but they're also independent contractors, and it's Tyler Perry's.
I don't know about all that. I just know that, you know, hitting on people that's what guys do. We hit
That's
on
what
people.
guys do, right? But and so in a corporate environment, that would be frowned upon because that's his employee, so to speak. And you're just not supposed to. But I don't know if it's illegal, but I know that it's frowned upon and can be considered like coercion. Like you want to keep your job, then you know.
Well, yeah, but I didn't see any of that. I just saw him
I didn't
hitting on
either.
somebody, like
I
I
didn't either. I'm
said, you
just saying
know.
how it can be played. Yeah.
That's it, like I said, from the text messages, I'm not getting, I'm just getting, he's hitting on him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. Yeah, he's just like flirting.
just
Yeah,
checking,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't doing anything overt or anything like that. That's not like what he did to
And he has
Christian
no qualms about being a gay man in Hollywood or the world, right? So he's like,
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they were both gay, so it wasn't like it was
yeah,
something that, you know what I'm saying, right? So
yeah. She was like, oh, but I don't think it was that.
that's
Well,
not what happened to Christian Keys. You heard about what happened to him, right? No, you
I
don't know the
I
Christian
don't
Keys
remember.
Tyler Perry story. Alleged Tyler, I should say alleged Tyler Perry story. You
Christian
ever
Key.
heard
Oh,
that?
is he the okay?
Huh?
No, go ahead.
I just wondered, I'm just asking.
Yeah. I think I may have, but I don't remember if it's the right person I'm thinking of.
What? What are you
I said, I
saying?
think I remember, but I don't know who Christian Keys is, but I
Oh, he's an
remember a story.
actor. Okay, here you go.
I'm interested to see which peers are mad at me because it may interfere with their work. But, yeah. You get a grown ass man that knows that you're heterosexual and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room because he says it's safe. Because I know I'm bad, so I'm after a big party. Won't say what type, won't say where. I'm asleep. I'm gone because I'm 4-5 Hennessy's deep and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb into bed with you. So you spaz out, push him out, like what the fuck? Get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man. All right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out, and he tries to grab your penis. He tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the fuck you doing, man? What the fuck? Oh, my bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not breaking multiple bones in this person's face. Like beating the dog shit out of this person, right? Because that's available to me at all times. That in a grizzly bear is always available, but in the moment I'm like, what the fuck? And but you got a guy that's a billionaire and I got $3,000 in my bank account. Who they gonna believe? Right? I got that $3,000. That's my son's mom's rent for next month. Gotta make sure little man's taken care of. That's my rent, and that's a little bit for the gas tank, and the rest of it I can go to the dollar store and get some bread and bologna and hot dogs and mustard, and I can get by. Work was slow, and a lot of the work that was coming it had penis attached to it. I'm like, fuck that, man. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm about to do. I regret not speaking up then, not being brave enough to, and I regret not hurting this person. Because
It was a violation. Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah. So now when you hear the text, now that you have a little more context to how somebody is, I still don't
Yeah, I
make
still think he was, yeah. They're two different situations completely.
I still don't make the leap to any wrongdoing from those texts. But I could see it knowing it like if that story's true, and I got no reason to doubt old boy
Yeah,
because
he seems very believable.
he is an actor. Look, this is
True
profession,
that. True that. There's
right?
always
You know what I'm
that.
saying? But if I
But
take him
who's
at his word and that's how
Mhm.
that man behaves, then I can sort of see a more sinister tint to those texts, even
Right.
if they were not necessarily
Which one is suing him? The
another
first
person
one?
suing him, but
And that
this is
Christian Keys is not?
not that I'm aware of.
Well, that makes it more believable. Way more.
But yeah, just that you're just like that in Hollywood is there's so many black dudes apparently that are like that in Hollywood, and I mean not just Hollywood, but the music business too. I just never would have. It's blowing my mind It's blowing my mind. It is
Right.
blowing my mind.
Have you heard the
Okay,
TD Jakes accuser?
you know what? Speaking of TD Jakes,
Because I
now
have that video.
Tyler
If you haven't
Perry,
seen it, you gotta see it.
Tyler Perry, is actually kind of believable. I mean, the dude wears a dress and all that stuff, so
Mhm.
it's not like
TD Jakes, on the other
yeah,
hand, is a
it's
man of
not like
God.
that's like something out of the realm of possibility. But this TD Jakes thing,
kind of close with Bishop Jakes. And
Yeah.
we decided in one of the times he was there, it was going to be his birthday. I was able to convince my mother to let me drive her car as I didn't have a vehicle. I said, well, we're going to take him out to eat. I want to drive your car. And so we did. We took him out to eat. And it was decided after we were done taking him out to eat that I would be the person to take him back to his sleeping place, which at the time there was a lady named Sister Giles. She always wanted to house and take care of him when he came to that church. And so I came in there, drove him to eat, and then took him back to her home. Well, after taking him back to her home, he says, come on in, let's talk. You can't even imagine being 18, 19 years of age. This person is killing it. And they're saying to you, come on in, let's talk. And so I did. I went in. We sat down at a very long dining room table in a room that she had. And for 2 hours, it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father. We talking about these scenarios. And I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it. Someone who understood. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face because somebody gets me. Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up. And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of that place. But I remember driving home with all kinds of crazy thoughts and what in the world am I going to do now? And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep. And I get to sleep and get up in the morning. And in the morning, I step into our bathroom and my home phone rings. My mother answers the phone and she says to me, Wayne, it's Elder Jakes. And I get on that phone. And when I get on that telephone, I can hear water. He is sitting in a bathtub. And in that thing, he says to me, without any hesitation, there's 3 things I need you to do. The first one is, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. The second one is, you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you the rest of your life. I can't to this day remember how I got off that phone, but I do know I made a decision that I wasn't going to the service that night.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going to the service that.
That's a like you
That's like
think.
some straight pimp shit. Like he's just here's what's gonna happen. Duh, that's like that's
Now,
just
I will argue that Bishop T.D. Jakes is indeed a celebrity. He's a
right.
pastor, but these people, he's a celebrity is what it is. And this gayness thing, I don't understand it. But when I compare what Tyler Perry did allegedly to what Bishop Jakes did allegedly, Bishop Jakes comes across as evil. because to
And he
be
claims to be a man of God, and he stands up there and he preaches.
right,
It's too
because
much,
to suck a dude in like that, a man,
especially
as another
telling,
dude, you know what I'm saying? Like to
right.
give another man that space to be a man and to breathe and to
That was
feel understood.
predatory. It was
Oh,
predatory. That's what it was.
that
And
was
it was,
nasty work right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That was
And
nasty
and
work.
dude, you could tell that it affected him on an
It still
emotional
affected him
level.
because it
Or
happened when he was
exactly.
18.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And he
he said he died on
exactly.
the inside.
That's so
Yeah,
sad.
of course he
That's
did.
because he believed in the church and he believed in the elder and yeah, and his mom. I know he's thinking, what do I tell my mom if she knew that she'd be heartbroken. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how many stories like that are out there with this
And TD
guy.
Jakes was at them Diddy parties. Like people were
Oh
like,
yeah.
why?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh
now we
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
And
wasn't
it
there to
makes,
pray
like I
over
said,
him.
it just makes you wonder how many stories like this are out there from people that haven't spoken up or people that are afraid to.
Well, okay. I feel like there's definitely a distinction between predatory behavior and being gay. That they happen to be going together in these scenarios in Hollywood speaks to the whole gay mafia rumors.
Well, like I
That
said, Tyler Perry just, I mean, like that, I could even pass that off as him just being drunk. I could see
mhm.
that whole story with Christian Keys.
Until
I
you
could
get to
just see,
Christian Key. Oh,
no, no,
really?
even with Christian Keys, I could see a scenario where he was just drunk as fuck.
But wasn't the grabbing
Where
of the
Tyler
equipment
Perry was. Yeah,
right?
I'm not saying that it was
I'm saying
not
was that the next day
fine.
when they were sober? I thought it was the
No,
next
it wasn't
day.
the next.
Okay.
No, it wasn't the next day. They were both still drunk at this time.
Okay.
He's leaving because he's getting assaulted.
Right. And he could have got mixed signals when you're faded and yeah, all that stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying that Tyler Perry got mixed signals. I'm saying that he wanted to fuck and he was
Right.
drunk and he tried to. I
Right.
could actually say was more being drunk than being a predator or anything like that. I
Right.
could see that because that's how, men get like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it don't matter that you're gay. That's how men get. Sometimes when
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stop saying you know what I'm saying, but
But you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
but
But that,
the
no,
situation with
TD
Tyler
Jakes, and
Perry,
he said
if
it.
I'm being generous, I could see that being drunken behavior. But what I
Mhm.
saw from TD, for again, all this is alleged. I don't know none of these people, but what I saw from TD Jakes, that's evil right there. That's evil.
Right. And it was he had a certain entitlement too. Like the entitlement is
So it's interesting actually to see that, we got potential predators just because you might be gay or drunk, and then we got potential predators that are evil. There are potential predators that do it for power. That's like
mhm.
sort of what Diddy was supposedly into, the
Right.
power of it. I don't know how you get an erection for it, but that's
What
just
makes
me.
them, but that's what makes them, that's what turns them on is the power.
I guess, I guess, but there's a lot of different reasons for the gayness in the entertainment industry, but there's just so much of it, and I just never knew.
Tyrant Turner, I had him on the platform.
Who is Tyrant Turner?
He was in Minister Society. He played the main character, King.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so about a year or two ago, I had him on the platform, and he spoke about a misunderstanding you and him had, and how Jay Prince, he had to intervene and squash everything between both of y'all. You know anything about that?
I called Jay Prince. I called Jay Prince, which is a friend of mine. I said, look, I just had a situation. I want to go talk to Suge one-on-one, man-to-man, though. So Jay flew down. Jay Prince flew down. We went to the Suge Knight compound. They opened up the thing. Him and Suge pounding him. Suge gave me a pound, everything, and I was just like, damn, the way he hit my hand was like we didn't have a problem at all, and I didn't like that because I knew we had a problem. Suge, let me talk to you. So we went to the side, and I was like, yeah, man, I don't understand like why we had that issue, how you came at me like that, because like I've always liked Death Row, and like I thought we was always cool or whatever, and I said I don't, I like to fight head. I give niggas head of faith or whatever, right? And he said we can do that. He said that can happen.
Well, I don't know nothing about that situation, but I do know Tyrant. And one thing about Tyrant, it's sort of sad how they did Tyron. Tyron is a case that he should, when you look up the dictionary of a young actor getting taken advantage of, it should be his face. You know, he played in that one movie and everybody knew it. And shit, Tyron was known as the brother. You know, everybody knew that he messed with this guy named Ray, this big fat guy, who was a gay guy, big queen. Everybody knew that him and Dalvin from Josie was lovers and all that type of stuff. You see them out kissing. And everybody also was the punchline that Tyron's Jamie Foxx bitch. And everybody knew it. I mean, Tyron had a little place at Jamie's house. Jamie gave him like an old Bentley or something, a real old Bentley to drive, and the story was...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
They used to call Tyron Big Lips, Dick Sucking Tyron. You know, and it never was my business because I'm not a part of that world, nor it had nothing to do with me. Tyron known in Hollywood as Jamie's bitch. You know, getting fucked by Jamie and sucking Jamie's dick. But I didn't see him a couple of times. I knew that Tyron and Andre was really, really close. And when he was messing with Andre, well, I don't want to keep putting Andre business out there, but Tyron and Andre was having an affair. Fucking, whatever you want to call it. He was also close with Miss Chalet. And I remember one time I said, hey, don't let everybody in you guys' business like that or know what's going on because that looks bad for business. If, you know, he getting hit by Andre and he having, you know, what he be doing with Miss Chalet, so that's a bad look. You know? Everybody know it. Even the bitches know it. They be like, Tyron be trying to fuck with me. We know what he do. He do the same thing we do. Dick in his mouth. You can go to a club, you can go to an event. It wasn't nothing surprising to see Tyron on his knees trying to get a roll or trying to get $1. You know? I guess Tyron probably been sex trafficking a lot. He ain't the pimp, he the hoe.
Okay. So
You
before
don't
I
want-
get into everybody that he talked about, how interesting is it that these men are chatting like women and telling everybody's business?
Right. I'm like, what?
Gossiping, right? Just gossiping.
Like
just-
usually they'll do it like closer to their end. Like Quincy Jones was talking a lot towards the end, stuff like that. But like Suge is like, I ain't going nowhere. Like, whatever. Oh, okay.
But he implicated Dr. Dre,
Mhm.
Jamie
At first I thought he was
Foxx.
talking about Andre Harrell for some reason, like maybe the Diddy thing. But yeah, when I said Michelle, I was like, oh, Doctor.
Yeah, he implicated Dre, Jamie Foxx, and who else was he talking about? I forget. But yeah, apparently, like, you know,
So we were kind of
what?
working with Jamie at the time that he was staying there, and he
Yeah.
was staying there. I never heard that about them, but I didn't understand why he was staying there. But like, no, I didn't. I was like, oh, maybe, maybe just letting him because he's not doing, it could be just a friend thing. I mean, he had a huge place, it was like on an avocado orchard and like whatever. Like they didn't even ever have to see each other. And Jamie's kids were there. It was like I just
Yeah.
never saw anything like that. And
Okay.
we would go over there and stuff, but he was staying there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Trey is.
I'm glad I got my tea for sipping. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I never heard that though. But okay, so go ahead. He said Dre, Jamie.
Yeah, he said Dre,
and
Jamie. Who else did he say?
he said he was everybody.
He said
Aw.
Dre,
But why didn't he get
Jamie,
more
and
movie roles then?
oh, and I know, right? And Dalvin from Jodeci. So, oh my
That
God.
one I never heard either. That's a trip. That's
Like, they were kissing in public and stuff, according
well,
to Suge.
yeah. See, that's the thing is these men get very comfortable, and when they've had all the girls like there's more girls than you could even imagine, then something happens.
You think that's it? I
I
don't
think
think
so.
that's it.
I mean, I think that's part of
I
it.
don't think that's
Because
it.
it is a power thing, but it's also a prison culture, you know? Like that's how
Uh, it's just so many of them that seem like they got a little fruit on them, though. It's just,
yeah, I think there's a
I mean,
difference,
these
like
all
you
the big
said, between
ones,
power and predator, and then there's
all
just
the
the
big
gay.
ones got a story.
Right.
All the big ones got some kind of crazy story,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but it's said so casual. It's like a very casual conversation in Hollywood. Like when Cat Williams was saying, like, if you go to Diddy party, you got to get your, Diddy's gonna want to do that to you. Like that's just what Diddy does, you know? And in real life, that's not usually how things go. You know, like
What do you mean?
you don't, when you go to a party, you're not expected to give up your virgin whole, as Cat Williams said it.
Well, I don't know. I just know it just seems as though all the big ones got a little something, something. But it's crazy to watch them squealing and telling on each other, though.
I know.
That's fucking hilarious too, right?
Yeah, I want to get permission to tell you a story. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Permission granted. So, Num worked on a project called Stomp. I don't know if you remember it, but it was Quincy Jones produced. There was all these artists on it, and they went on Oprah
It was a
to.
movie or
No, it's a song. Well, it was a movie. It was
oh, I'm
Stomp.
thinking of Stomp the Yard.
No, it was
Okay.
it was an album. That's what it was. It was an
Okay.
album with
Okay.
a bunch of artists on it. They had a song, and it was a collective of artists, and so they went on Oprah. Quincy Jones was presenting his project, and then so they performed. And afterwards, in the green room, either the green room or the hotel, I forget, Num gets flowers and a card, and it
Mhm.
said, "I've seen a lot of asses in my life, but you have one of the nicest asses I've ever seen." And it was from Quincy Jones.
What?
Yes. Yep. What do
You
you
know
think I was
what?
gonna say? You thought I was gonna say Oprah? Or
No,
like,
no. I didn't know what you were gonna say, but I'm just cracking up because I'm like, that's a win. That's a dub. You know what I'm saying? Like getting hit up by Quincy Jones, even if you if you're not gay, that's
oh
still
hell no. No,
that's
Num's
still a
like,
dub. You know what I'm saying?
"Oh,
Like he
fuck
sent you
no."
flowers,
Oh, he sent
bro.
you flowers, yeah,
You
but
know, that's a dub.
it
That's a
wasn't for anything that
that's a dub. All I'm
it
saying,
wasn't for
that's a
talent.
dub. That counts as a win. That's all I'm saying. That counts as a win.
Well,
Quincy Jones sent
maybe.
me flowers. Stop
That's
playing.
nice.
That's a win. That's a
That's
win.
nice.
That's a win.
Okay, I wonder.
Anyway.
But that's a
Anyway.
trip, right? Like he was openly,
Yeah.
well, within
Well, I mean, he wasn't openly, but
he wasn't openly, but within the Hollywood circles, people knew.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the big ones have stories.
Yeah.
All the big ones have stories. Like it's crazy that all the big ones have stories. It's insane. Okay, so all right, so moving from tearing,
Aaron.
check this out.
And now Suge trying to say that me and Puffy are lovers, and that me and Puffy are lovers, bro. Really? That's how low you want to go, Suge? Me and Ray J and Puffy are lovers, bro. That's on the dead homies, bro. Ray J and Puffy are lovers, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's what Suge's trying to say. Now, anyway, Suge's disappointed me. It let me know that Suge's a complete cunt. I never thought that I would publicly say that Suge's a cunt because I've always had Suge's back, and I don't mean ass. Unbelievable, Suge. Like for you to showcase how dirty and dark you are, and I've been supporting you even through the dark times, and now you want to like disrespect the gay agency and say that I'm doing gay shit when you know I'm not. And if you not, the gay agency mad because they like, damn, he's saying you doing gay shit, bro. And if you are, and I didn't tell the gay agency, bro, they gonna take me, bro. If I tell my gay friends that I've been gay and I ain't gay and I lied to them, bro, you know what's gonna happen to me? Bro, it ain't gonna look good, bro. So you got my whole gay agency team questioning like what I'm doing, bro, and you know what's up. You know you the one Suge. Suge, okay. Remember, all right, I'm only gonna say this because I don't wanna talk, I don't wanna say too much. The gay agency here. I don't know if y'all remember when I entered into the news game last year, but now I'm an official affiliate for multiple news networks. I have my own news show. It's called The Reality Check. Me and Amber Rose just closed a new big deal with a multimedia news firm, so we'll be the new anchors of some mainstream shit happening, right? But if you remember, I said asses are being taken. Asses are being taken in ways that nobody can explain. I said that on the national news. That shit went viral. And guess what? Niggas thought I was talking about Diddy. That's why I got into it with his sons, because they come press me. I'm like, bro, mind y'all business. Y'all don't even know who I'm talking about. Nigga, I'm talking about Suge, bro. I'm talking about Suge taking niggas, not Diddy. Suge is a big ass raper taker for men, bro. I mean, a real taker. And he can't deny this, bro. We used to go to the store and get that nigga like 25 sticks of like butter, parquet butter, the sticks. He used to take them back and he used to shove them up niggas' ass and fuck them, bro. And females. It was crazy, bro. I can't even believe that I said that. But since you trying to darken my name, Suge, and trying to say some gay shit about me when you know I got a lot of gay friends and you know the gay community supports me. So, you know, like I'm bulletproof unless my dick been in that hole. And if it was, then I'll be celebrated even more because now I'm like one of the flyest, gayest niggas out, but I can't take that credit. I can't do that, bro. And you trying to throw gay shit on me like it's bad to be gay when you know that my dick's only going in pussy holes, bro. It's crazy, bro. But we know what holes you liked. Every hole. You was fucking bitches in the ass, niggas in the ass, bitches in the ear, the nose, everything, bro. Like, forget being gay. You was like nose. You was like ear, nigga. I don't know what that's called. Fucking people in the ear? What sexuality is that? Ear sexual? A motherfucking a nososexual? Cause that's what it is. Cause niggas is giving niggas titles just cause they doing ass play. That's the play they chose. Shout out to Tarad and shout out to Dumpin' D. Them niggas is doing ass play every day and having a good time. I can't be there though. Not because it's funky in there. Not because it's a funky room. Just because I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how funky the room get with niggas getting rammed in their ass with a cucumber. I hate when niggas send these gay comments to my shit acting like it's gonna make me mad because you calling me gay. Nigga, I got a lot of gay friends. When they see the gay comments come in, do they get excited? Probably. Do I get excited? No, I chuckle. But if you ever disrespect me in front of my gay friends, I can't help you, bro. Them niggas will take you, bro. Like Suge took niggas. Suge, like, yo, and I'm gonna say this one thing and I'm gonna stop, right? And then I want y'all to clip this. Suge used to take niggas, right? I used to go upstairs. Like, I don't know if you saw Pulp Fiction, but when Ving Rhames, they tied the nigga up. They had the ball in the nigga mouth. They had him in the chair and then the nigga came down, right? That's the kind of shit Suge did to niggas. And you know, it's crazy because Suge had this other thing. It's called handlebars. He used to strap it onto the nigga, and then they got the handlebars like you riding on the bike. Think about it, like a waist trainer, and then the handlebars on the side. Then he used to grab the handlebars and then take the niggas, bro. Like, we'll be right back. More Suge Knight. You are not my friend. You're not my family. You have disrespected the gay community. You disrespected me by saying false stories, and I'ma just tell the truth, bro. I've never seen a bigger homosexual than Suge Knight. He is an ass lover.
That was so okay. So ill, just ill.
Yeah, so maybe that's why he's out here telling on everybody like like he is, because maybe he, big as that dude is, maybe.
First of all, the whole culture of snitching and shit is really strange to hear black people doing this, like notoriously. And there's a
Well, I
universal
think I
no
think
snitching
that
policy. It's
if
very
Ray J's if Ray J's firing back, then I understand it.
right, right. I
You
guess.
know, if you got to defend yourself, you can't just let
Yeah,
that shit.
it's not like he spoke on anybody that was victim to Suge's handlebars scheme.
No, but he was just talking about. He's like, I got gay friends that'll fucking rape me if
Okay,
I'm
do
lying.
you have hella right? I
What the
know.
fuck
That
kind
was
of shit
like,
is
what kind of
that?
threat is that? That's some crazy ass, that's that jailhouse
That's
culture
some
too.
that's some weird shit if you got friends that'll rape you for
Do you have
lying.
hella gay friends?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have very many friends at all, to be honest with you, but
Okay.
I have known quite a few gay people in my life on the way, getting here. But
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I have two. I just don't have hella gay friends. It's interesting that because he's in Hollywood, but he's like, I got hella gay friends, hella gay friends. He kept saying that. The gagency is a new one for me. That's like,
But
what
that's
is
just
that?
weird
The gay
shit that you're hanging
mafia?
out with people that, what I'm saying, that will like, he's like, you know what they would do to me if they found out?
Right. What,
That-
rape you? Make
yeah,
you gay? I don't know.
that's
What
what
were they
that's
gonna
apparently, But
That's a
yeah, and
horrible punishment, and that
shoving
is
the
not
parquet
legal.
and then taking niggas.
See, and I heard that about your boy, sorry, not your boy, but Charlie Sheen and
Mm,
Corey Haim, that he would take Crisco, take him in between the trailers and stuff. People would be watching and walking by, allegedly.
yeah,
He's no
I heard
longer
stories
here.
something like that too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Um,
I wonder
so
if like,
we got everybody squealing on that. Not everybody, but we got folks squealing.
damn.
I guess the first two, the TD Jakes and the Tyler Perry, good on them. They should have squealed. Suge, I don't know why he's telling everybody's business, but he's implicated Dr. Dre, Dalvin from Jodeci, and Jamie
They must
Foxx.
be paying him to talk to, I think maybe.
Well, and it also seems like, I mean, if that's what he's doing according to Ray J, it seems like he would know too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like that's the
What?
kind of shit
Right,
that,
right, right, right.
like, it
Like,
makes him even more credible saying the shit about Taryn Turner. It makes, for
yeah.
me, it makes him even more credible because who else would
I,
know?
right.
Make me wonder about Snoop.
But Ray J, I don't, Ray J, well, from what I've seen with Diddy, Ray J doesn't necessarily seem his type. But Ray J and Diddy. But there is that Kim Porter book that they said was that his kids came out and denied all that, everything in it and all this stuff. But she speaks about a big LA dude that had come to help squash the beef with Tupac and yada yada yada, and they ended up fucking. So that
Somebody in Tupac?
I think they were talking about Suge, the way it was explained, but it was like
Oh,
redacted though. Yeah. Yeah.
that's crazy.
So that's something.
I guess that was the truce. Was it worked out? Did they get the deal
Right.
done?
Right. The truth was worked out. Oh man. Somebody didn't do a good job.
I know. Was it a productive meeting?
Oh, it doesn't seem that way. Otherwise, we'd still have Biggie and
That's
Pac.
crazy.
I
Even if I
hope.
was gay, there's nothing about me that would look at Suge Knight and be like, "Yeah, you do it."
Yeah, you do it out of all the, yeah, no.
No, sir.
I would go back to the agency and ask for a new one.
Yeah, so the gayness
I
in
wonder if he's talking about like the gay mafia, like that everybody talks about, like that'll take you out. Like,
I don't
I mean, the
know.
black version of it, like the Boulay gay mafia
I,
or something.
we could speculate, but I don't see the point. But I'm just tripping off of all the gayness
You don't
and
see the point in wondering about anything ever?
no, I don't see the point in openly speculating about it.
Oh, I was just wondering out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I think about stuff like that, but I don't spend a lot of time on it. If it's if it's knowable, then I'll dig into it. But if it's not
I mean,
knowable,
well, yeah, you can dig into it from that and alone. But yeah, it's very interesting and also gross
yeah,
and
real
different.
gross.
Very
Well, yeah.
different.
Okay, so I got another one for you. This one's kind of
It
gross
wasn't
too.
like that. Oh. can't believe there's so many. I would think there'd be like one or two stories.
I know this was my point.
Right.
This week I was watching an older comic who I know asshole belonged to the Hollywood gang. And they always tell of the glory stories about Hollywood they have. He was on Homosexual Hype's page. And he's talking about the glory stories. But I'm like, why don't these guys ever admit they're in their 50s and they're asshole aged out? Like, you're not a young man no more. So the guys that you are around who's rich,
yeah, that would happen, actually.
They can get young boy ass.
Happens to everybody. See, no one's exempt.
You're a discolored face elderly man now. Why don't you have stories about your asshole aging out? Tatalicious.
He's talking about Aries Spears.
You need to have stories about your asshole aging out and stop acting like you're not a backdooria monster of the Hollywood scene. Stop it. Stop it, man. Y'all are not keeping it real. Y'all not keeping it real. You get married later in life because your asshole aged out. You were always in a movie or writing on a TV show or something because you were a young man who could throw it back at them niggas. Now you're older and acting like life is beautiful. Life is not beautiful. You're struggling. You're struggling. You're not relevant no more. And I'm just saying, it's like, yeah. Somebody said the fruit booty raccoon. That's who he is, because he got that same face discoloration as the gooey raccoon. You're talking about your life with glory. That's not what happened. Your asshole aged out. And it's not as tantalizing as it used to be.
That is so
back in the 90s. In the 90s, you was everywhere. I see you at NBA All-Star games. You were all in the place.
I can see it
too. But now that you're older, those guys don't want your asshole no more. And I think men who asshole aged out in Hollywood should write a book of how it feels when you're still willing to give your ass, but you can't give it away no more. Not to the people who you want to give it to. Can you imagine how devastating that is when your asshole is wanted? And then all of a sudden, it's not wanted no more. Your asshole aged out in LA, and you are dancing on coffee tables at Superstar's house type motherfucker. You got to know that's out there. You dancing on coffee tables at Superstar's house. Do you want me to dig that up? This new audience don't even know you like that. They don't even know. They don't know. Like you say, they be like, oh yeah, that's dude from back on Woo Woo Woo. And now you're trying to come back and act like you a G who motherfucking killing them. You not killing them, dog. You ain't even getting fucked by stars no more. Yo days of throwing it back at a nigga is over. So when you put my name in your mouth, because I'm not going to put your name in my mouth, y'all can talk about me. Y'all Bill, my legend.
You got corn on your heart. Nigga, what happened?
Hey, man, all you guys who ass aged out need to write a movie about what you do once your ass is not desired by the stars.
No one will watch that movie.
Write a book. Somebody say, blow the whistle.
Done.
Oh my.
That is so on blast. Like he put him on Blizz ass. Like
Oh
that
my
was
God.
crazy. That was crazy. He was
Oh my
just like,
God.
fuck
I'm
it.
never
Let's
gonna be
just
able to
say
look at
what it
Aries Spears
is.
the
That's
same. That's always what I'm gonna be thinking about now. Because he was all over. First off, I've never
he
thought he
was,
was.
and I could see it so clearly too. I
Yeah.
could totally
Yeah.
see it.
I've
Yeah.
never
Him
thought he was
dancing
that
around,
sexy.
like just, yeah, I
Yeah.
could see it. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Come on,
Wow.
Aries. Tell the truth. It would make a good
Wow.
stand-up special if everybody just say what we did. Let's go.
I don't think it'll work for some of them. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think.
It depends on how big the agency is.
Look, apparently, but
Starting to
there
feel
is one
alone out
apparently.
here.
That's what I'm. So listen, we can wrap it up. I know I've kept you for a minute today, but
It's all
all
good.
I'm saying is, I never knew how much gayness there was with black folks in the entertainment industry, and now with everybody seeming like it's okay to spill the tea now. What is really going on? Everybody's gay. You can't do that if you're not gay. Like
Right,
everybody's
right.
gay. You know what I'm
Everybody.
saying? Like you can't
I
like
mean, nah,
everybody's gay.
but
If you didn't make
but
it, just
okay.
don't feel bad
Because yeah, yeah, you're straight.
yeah, you
Yeah.
had to suck a dick
I
to
mean,
get up there.
that is who currently it's literally runs Hollywood right now is, the gay. But I want to say that there's nothing wrong with being gay, of course.
I
In
didn't say
my mind,
nothing
there's
wrong with
nothing wrong
being
with it.
gay. This
And the thing is, like, what's happening here, I think, is a mixture of two things. One thing is people know that that's how they get in, and then there must be something already in them. And the other thing is that what is the other thing? It just fell out of my head.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
using it for power plays and stuff like that is a very predatory behavior is unacceptable across the board. Oh, this is the other thing that's going on is that men inherently enjoy to have the sex a lot, So when you're dealing with another man, the promiscuity is double what it would be if it was a male, female thing because the
Men are
men's
more
like, what's,
promiscuous than women. You think?
what'd you say?
You think men are more promiscuous than women?
I do.
You
Yeah.
should date women.
No, I'm saying, I mean, women obviously have their things, but that's why one of the reasons why the AIDS virus spread so fast, like in places where there was a large gay population, is because men didn't have the same discretions. They literally had holes in the wall where they would just, stick
Well,
their
yeah,
finger through the
it's
hole
also
and
because the anal cavity is super sensitive and
and it's a bit, yeah.
it's a whole different thing. It wasn't made for that. So,
We're
necessarily.
not doing,
Right, we
yeah,
could
we're
argue
not
that
doing
point,
that
right? Right, we could
not
argue that point.
today, but I'm happy to talk about it some other time.
But yeah,
But
I don't
yeah,
think
I mean,
that I wouldn't say that there's anything wrong with being gay. What I would say is that most of us aren't. And so it's mind blowing when you see an institution where it's flipped, where it seems like most of them are.
yeah,
It
right, right,
seems
right.
it's just so hard for me to wrap my mind around.
Because statistically, it used to be like 1 in 4, or whatever. And I was like, that's a huge statistic. I didn't have 1 in 4
What used to be
people.
1 in 4?
1 in 4 men are gay. Like I heard that statistic once upon a time, and I was
Yeah,
like,
that's not a real statistic.
I don't think so. I didn't think so. But in Hollywood, I would beg to differ.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Hollywood
don't
and the
know.
music industry. I don't know.
Right.
It's
Yeah, Hollywood, like the
yeah.
whole
It's
entertainment.
it's definitely it's definitely higher than the average. I would wager
Right,
that.
right,
Yeah, I would
right.
wager that. Which and in some ways that makes sense because, gay men are way more artsy than they are, construction workers, you know what I'm saying? So guess it makes sense to
That's
some
true.
degree
But why? But okay, well, never mind. We won't get into that. So,
because yeah, because it's feminine, because it's feminine work. It's not masculine work.
art.
Yeah, it's not super masculine.
I mean, it's not masculine. I don't know.
No, I didn't say, listen, I'm not saying men can't do it or anything like that, but I'm not saying like, if your whole thing is a painter, you're probably not the most masculine guy in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's just, it just
Yeah,
is
no,
what
I
it
hear
is.
you.
It's not like people that, work out and,
Well, yeah. We're not going to generalize here because we already have enough clear evidence of something
Yeah,
that's,
well,
yeah, that's
everybody's
right.
gay.
Yeah.
Everybody's gay. And
Have
it's
fun out
just
there
so
in
look, it's just so
Gayleywood.
weird to me that I don't know. I'm beside myself, and that's why I had to share it with you.
Thank you for sharing. I'm trying to think of a word for
He's
where
gay.
you live. El gay.
If you're,
Hi,
listen,
Sloan.
Leonardo DiCaprio is gay. X-Man guy, gay. Ryan Reynolds, gay. I'm saying they're all gay. Like Kurt Cobain said, everybody's gay. Now they've turned it into that since he died in 94, right? They've turned it. Everybody's gay. It's an applaud if you're gay. Oh my God, my son's so courageous because he transitioned. That's not courageous. According to you, he is that. So what's courageous about that? Everybody's that. Straight people are now being called cisgender. Call me that and I'm slapping you in the face. I'm a woman with a uterus. I'm going to go on that band again. I don't care what you do, but don't tell me how to identify myself.
I'm mad she had two mics when she said it. She said it took the other mic. Like if
I'm
y'all
with
didn't hear
her
me over
though. It's
here,
just everybody's gay.
everybody's gay.
Everybody's gay.
I'll make you a t-shirt.
All right. All right. I'll
Coffee
see you
mug.
tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow.